I believe it's borderline personality disorder. Those are the words you hear coming from your doctor's mouth. You're a young teen, age 14 or 15. You sit in an office with your mother or father, your therapist, and your doctor. You're not really feeling anything. You haven't really heard about borderline personality disorder before. You guess it's something like bipolar. But it feels funny. It gives you a tight, unhappy feeling in your chest. You're zoned out and thinking, while your doctor explains it to your mom, dad. Before you leave, they ask if you have any questions. You don't, so you and your parent go home. Your parents talk about your new diagnosis in hushed, whispered tones. You still don't understand. So, you flip open your phone and Google it. Instead of the normal suicide hotline, you're greeted by this. Chronic. There's no way. But at least it's treatable? But still, you should at least look and see what symptoms you have. They match. To the dot. But you're still not convinced. They've got more than one diagnosis wrong in the past, maybe this one is too. It's whatever, you'll roll with it for now. There's no way this could be true. It's been a few days since you received the diagnosis. And people haven't treated you the same since. The kids in your life don't really know, so they're the same. But the adults? They stare at you with a mix of pity and confusion, sometimes a bit of disdain mixed in. Most adults have stopped taking you seriously, if they ever did before. They either treat you like you're mentally handicapped or a bomb that could go off at any moment. But no one listens anymore. No matter what you say, anyone that knows disregards your opinion immediately. It's been 2 weeks since you got the diagnosis. You've cried a bit, but you're okay. It's not like the adults ever took you seriously in the first place. You walk down the stairs, into the kitchen. You peek into the living room and see your mom has a friend over. You're about to go get a snack, but you freeze in your tracks. They've got BPD. I just don't know how to cope anymore, they're so out of control and you run upstairs. Your own mother. You thought you were a good kid, the best you could be, at the very least. All you wanted to do was make her happy. You throw yourself onto your bed and sob. The diagnosis is somehow leaked to your friends. It's not surprising. Your mother can't keep her mouth shut and neither can her friends. It's that big of a deal, because your friends don't know what it is either. But all of your teachers know now. So do your bullies. Your therapist also doesn't care what you have to say. It's always your fault and you won't take responsibility because you have BPD. It's been decided to enroll you in DBT, dialectical behavior therapy. When you ask your mother, she says, it's for kids who won't ever be able to think normal, but they can at least teach them how to act normal. You already don't like this therapy. It's the day of the first group therapy. You've had a change of attitude, after finding out that you might be considered normal and never have to go back after 6 months. You walk in and are seated around an office table. The other kids that have been here for longer show clear hatred and disinterest in the group. Cell phones are under the table, earbuds are in, and those that are artists have their drawing tablets in clear view while they draw and don't pay attention. It's only 6 months. It's hopeless. You'll never get better, you'll never feel better. DBT is a waste of time. Your instructors spend more time apologizing to each other than teaching. You try to do the things you learned at home, but your parents aren't working with you. They blame you, it's your fault, so why should they change? People continue to gossip and say nasty things. As a result, you're even more stubborn. More angry. More violent, to some degree. Eventually, you're sent to the hospital. At the hospital, you're stripped of your dignity. You have to wear a special green robe to indicate that you're a mental health patient. You can't close your curtains or leave your room. If you violate any of these rules, they threaten to call security, and that would mean being handcuffed, violently dragged back, likely beaten, and probably humiliated even more. You cooperate, for the most part. After spending 3 days in the you're moved to the mental health ward. You spend 7 days in the ward. You're humiliated by staff, time and time again. It isn't just you. Anyone with a diagnosis that's bipolar, schizophrenic, autism, or something under the personality disorder, well, you're a target. You lash out each time, in response. It never gets better. Never. You're now an 18-year-old. You have dozens of diagnoses. You don't trust anyone, you're alone. You're on shit tons of drugs prescribed by your doctor. You're not even sure who are anymore. As to what kind of personality you have, well, it's impossible to tell. The drugs leave you mellowed and empty. The bright-eyed 14-year-old is gone. Instead, they've been replaced by a mixture of years of abuse and toxicity, with drugs thrown in. You've learned something though. People will always judge you on what they think they know. Even if they haven't met you, they hear the words, BPD, and have formed their judgment. The same thing happens with all your doctors. There's no point. As long as you pretend it's not there, you'll be okay. All mental health disorders are painful. You can't even begin to compare them. It's not right and it's not fair. But I would say that people falling under any of the personality disorders are highly discriminated against. Personality disorders are probably the least understood mental health illnesses. The media and majority of everything we see online show people with bipolar, schizophrenia, and personality disorders to be violent, dangerous, and crazy. As a result, a lot of inaccurate information is spread around and taken as facts. This ends up leading people to believe that people that are diagnosed don't feel emotions, like normal people do. People under this umbrella term do feel emotions. They may be different from yours, or they may be the exact same. So when you tell them these things, it's hurtful. I do have to say that not everything is like this. Someone may have a different experience than the one above. I was misdiagnosed as having BPD for almost 2 years. These were my experiences. I hope this helps someone out there. If anyone is under the personality disorders spectrum and I got something wrong, please contact me and let me know. Have a great day. Edit. This has been a common misunderstanding in the comments. I do not have borderline personality disorder. I was misdiagnosed at the age of 14. The diagnosis was re-evaluated and removed once I turned 16. I do, however, have a few friends who have the diagnosis. I wrote this answer based off of the experiences I had with constantly being judged and their experiences with the condition. Borderline personality disorder can also look a lot like PTSD, meaning it's very possible that it's been misdiagnosed. A lot. While I may not have the condition myself, I understand on a different level why labeling someone isn't okay. I also understand now that we need to provide people a legitimate education on mental health disorders. I can't tell you how many condescending old people I've had to explain to that BPD and MPD, multiple personalities disorder, aren't the same thing. Once again, thanks for reading. Hope this clears things up. Note, please don't diagnose yourself. Self-diagnosis is typically very inaccurate and also very offensive. Thank you.